Hold on. 148 points scored in the cup. We gonna talk about it. Garland jumped back in like he never left. Like my boy ain't just had surgery on his toe this past June. We gonna talk about that too. And Spider, we all know, the true Clevelanders know, and all the haters know too, that man been playing on a completely different frequency. You heard, early MVP candidate, if you ask me. But of course, we gonna talk about it. So happy Cavs Saturday. What up? What up? What up, Cavs Nation? It's your girl, it's your host, Najah Lee, and this is the Cavs State of Mind, the realest Cavaliers talk on the net, and the only place where hoops meet higher perspective. Again, each and every episode is powered by For Your Lens, a lifestyle brand inspiring dope people like you to live, move, and create with purpose and attention. So while you're here, hit the like button. If you pull up on the replay, hit the like button, hop into the comments, hop into the chat if you live with me. And then most importantly, y'all, please, please, please help us get to 500 subscribers. You heard, got a big raffle that's going to happen once that happens, some giveaways and all that. So it's a perfect time to go ahead and support Free Your Lens and all that we're doing. Much love, much love. Now, let's get right. Come on, y'all. Let's get right into the show. Boom. Now, y'all know the year started off, clunky, right? That's word from our coach, word from our head coach. Shout out to Kenny. Okay. From clunky to connected. The Cavs literally just put the league on notice, scoring 148 points in regulation. Y'all, that is their highest scoring in a game in over 30 years. That's not luck, okay? That's not luck. That is rhythm. You feel me? It didn't even happen on the first term or the second term with LeBron, bro. It happened right now with still an injury laden team. Again, point guard just coming back. That ain't luck, y'all. That's rhythm. And we're going to talk about it tonight. We are on a 3-game win streak. Y'all know, y'all ain't new here. We Cavs fans. Y'all know what's up. We on a 3-game win streak. Spider Mitchell is leading the force. He's locked in behind Garland's DGs are two-time All-Stars, facilitating. Literally everybody is back in their bag. Everybody is eating again. And we're going to talk about how we shifted from clunky, literally clunky, them first 3-4 games. But them first, what just been happening? Yeah, these last 3, connection. You feel me? So again, it's your girl, Najah Lee. Happy to be with y'all. Happy to kick it with y'all tonight. Before we dive into the land, we got to scan around the league, see where the energy at right now, see what's been going on, right? So here goes some top headlines. The Heat, the East, listen, the East, everybody keep talking about the East ain't got nothing. They ain't got no firepower. Well, look what the Heat just did. They dropped 53 points in the first 53 points in the first quarter. Now, granted, okay, I'm gonna hold my hands up. Granted, it was against Charlotte. Okay, they ain't never been known to stop. I don't think they can stop a dough. They can't stop a cold. They can't stop a runny nose. They ain't been known for defense, and that's cool. But 53 points in the first quarter is crazy. That's crazy. Now, also granted, they only had 126 points in the whole game. So I mean, that's saying is like, damn, did y'all run out of gas? Cause you got like 70% of your points in the first quarter, which is 25% of the game. That's crazy. But anyway, shout out to the Heat. Oh, and we gonna say give another special shout out to Eric Spoelstra, who lost his house in the Miami fires. So definitely send in our thoughts. I hate the term thoughts and prayers, but definitely sending good vibes, good energy to Coach Spo out there. I mean, he's one of the best coaches to ever coach this game. So we never want to see people hurt and take big losses like that, take big L's, and that's with anybody. So anybody who's suffering right now, especially with those Miami fires, salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Keep y'all head up, and this a trial, right? So we're gonna get through this one and push through it like every other trial. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all. Okay, bet. So now next in the news, Cam Thomas from the Brooklyn Nets, that's like they number 2 star. You know what I'm saying? They got Michael Porter Jr., they got Cam Thomas, and that's like they two-headed snake over there. Well, he is out 3 to 4 weeks with a hamstring. Now, is that gonna make a big deal with us in our division? No, no, no. That don't even pertain to us. But because us in the East, and because the Brooklyn Nets team is always a sneaky team, like they may not be reflected in the record, but they can always beat another team on the East. So, with them losing Cam Thomas, we should probably see some more than likely either somebody else is gonna step up or we see them L's step up in that lost column. I'm just saying. No shade. I'm just saying. Also next up, the NBA's Euro based league could be launching as soon as 2027, which is wild to even think about the NBA being in Europe and having their own Euro league. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be dope. And maybe even get messy like around the Olympics time. But hey, it'll all be in alignment. So shout out to them. Some amazing stuff is coming up with the NBA. Um, Also, on top of what's going on in the NBA, we got to talk about the cup play. You know what I mean? The cup play. I know most people think that, it's overrated. Nobody cares about basketball in November. They can do what they want to do. It's not going to change. It's 82 games in the season. People only care about really the last 40. So that being said, I'm still excited about the cup games because anytime my team takes the court, I don't care who they're playing, I'm going to tune in. You know what I mean? They played the Washington Wizards. I was not excited to see anybody on that Wizards team. Thus, my attention span was in and out. However, I'm a Cavs fan, so I'm going to be tuned in. So the cup games matters. Also for me being a Cavs fan, I think I would love to see the Cavs be competitive and maybe even make it to like the cup championship just to kind of feel that excitement of winning a thing, like not getting bounced out in the first or second round every season. Like win a thing. Okay. Now we know the history states that the people who win the cup championship, doesn't go on to win the finals or win the NBA championship. I'm not, in my mind, the barometer or the measurement of success this season for the Cavs is not, in my mind, winning a championship. It's simply, well, not simple because it ain't simple at all. It's getting to the finals. If we get to the finals, I believe next year we can make the jump and close out strong in the finals. But for a team who's never even been to the Eastern Conference Finals post LeBron, it would be crazy for us to say, they just gonna go right on in and win the finals. You know what I'm saying? One more year, one more year. Okay, we gonna see. So let's talk about what's been happening around the league. Now, right now, one of the most well, again, the cup play ain't that important to most, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. So yesterday was all cup games. So they, shout out to the NBA because they are doing some things to try to make it exciting for us fans to watch this time of the year. Usually diehard basketball fans, I'm talking about the ones that are really NBA fans, even we don't start watching basketball until after Thanksgiving. Then you got that next level is like, all right, after the Christmas game or starting on Christmas Sunday, we watch NBA. And then you have that other fan class of friends that they'll start watching after the deadline and or even waiting until the playoffs. So let's talk about Friday's games. Most all of those were NBA Cups games, and everything matters, right? Not just you winning, but the scoring total. So it matters. And so, again, I told you last episode. I've been telling you every episode actually. It's a difference between understanding what the coach wants you to do, versus understanding the assignment. We wanted to go in and win the game. Absolutely. We can't lose to the Wizards. That's that's crazy. That's ludicrous. But we had to score a significant amount of points this game. And so we did just that with 148 points against the Wizards to their 114, right? Blood bad. That's a 34-point victory. Crazy. But that's exactly what you should do against a team like the Wizards, who for the last, 10 years, they have been if not the worst team in the league, the second or third worst team in the league. You know what I mean? So they've been consistently bad. And so when you lost the John Walls and the Bills and all that, they've been bad since then. So that being said, this is what should have happened. Now, of course, around the league, Magic beat the Celtics, and a little blowout there as well. Raptors beat the Hawks. The Pistons, they've been cooking too. So we're gonna talk about the Central Division a little bit later in the episode, but they've been cooking too. They got off to a little clunky, janky start, similar to the Cavs, but they even picked up steam a little bit sooner than us, and we'll see how long they withstand that as well. Shout out to Karis LeVert, over here in Cleveland. We just love Karis LeVert. I mean, he Ohio baby. We seem like we've been watching him play forever. Whether he was in a Cavs jersey or not. So, me being a Clevelander, me being an Ohio baby, Midwest baby, I always love to see him be successful. So wherever he goes. So shout out to Karis LeVert. He had some great plays in that game against the Nets as well. Spurs beat the Rockets. Wembanyama. I mean, come on, man. Wemby. I mean, come on. Stop it. I mean, nobody's seen nothing like him. He gonna keep cooking. Shout out to him. The Heat beat the Hornets again. They scored 51 points in the first quarter. Crazy. Grizzlies, shout out to Ja Morant making a little comeback, trying to find his groove back against the Mavs. And Bucks beat the Bulls. Yo, Greek Freak out here almost had a triple-double, 40 points, like 12 boards, 9 assists. Crazy, man. Again, another early MVP candidate. Okay. I got my boy Spider in the hat. I got Greek Freak in the hat. Period. You know what I mean? Argue with yourselves, not me. Now, the Wolves beat the Jazz. I mean, the Jazz ain't really got nothing over there cooking. You know what I mean? So that's self-explanatory. 137 points to 97. Whew. Yo, it was a bad night for them. But shout out to the West or whatever. We over here, Big East gang. You heard? Back to the Cavs. Let's talk about this Cavs connection, right? Let's talk about the rhythm that's been rhythmic. Okay. Let's talk about the bounce, more bounce to the ounce. What we got going on over here. Top leaders yesterday's game. Garland with 20 points. Welcome back, DG10. Shout out to DG10. 20 points, 9 assists, and he was perfect from the field in the first half, right? My biggest challenge to Garland has been, especially with the amount of shooters and scorers around him, whether catch and shoot guys, whether still can kind of like turn the corner, the Hunters, the Mobleys, the Jarretts, the people that can get the oops, and then of course you got Spider. I mean, come on. With the amount of people that he has around him to his advantage, Garland should average 10 assists this season. Now, granted, he's going to get his rhythm back. He still ain't even got his rhythm back, and he got 9 assists last game. Okay. So he's already understanding the ways that he can impact the game, and he started to dial into that on the bench. Just watching what was happening with the team and our chemistry that we've been showing thus far, even with the ebbs and the flows. So Garland being DG is learning how to fine tune that rhythm and get everybody else involved. So what do we have? We got Mitchell. He scores. Spider. Come on, shout out to Spider, man. He been carrying us. He did this is what he do. So I'm not even surprised at this point. I'm not even surprised. I've been watching Donovan since Louisville. This what he do. Spider 24 points. They ain't even had to play a lot of minutes, so it don't look like he scored a lot of points. But hey, it was an efficient game again. Mobley 8 and 10 rebounds. Shout out to Mobley. He ain't had many double digit rebounding games thus far this season. He's averaging 8.6 rebounds a game. Every episode that he doesn't get 10 rebounds that prior game, I'm going to talk about it. Because there's no way that you're 7 feet tall and you're not on the glass. Isn't that what we beat up Cat Towns about in when he was in Minnesota? Remember Amari Stoudemire? Remember them? He had a couple seasons with the Knicks, a couple seasons with Phoenix, and he wasn't on the glass. You're too big. You're too athletic. You're no excuses. Get 10 rebounds every game from you, Evan. That's what we need. That's what we need. Even if the scoring isn't as efficient, even if the 3-pointers aren't falling the way we want to see from Evan, the rebounds, the defense, and his impact just on the court in general, especially in the paint, should still be there. But great game, fantastic game against the Wizards. And Sar with the Wizards ain't like no light work. He's huge. So there were moments where you saw Evan just really couldn't get in his bag because Sar plays great defense, but still was still able to put up 18 points and 10 rebounds. He had 4 defensive rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. Now, Jared Allen, man, JA, man, people say what they want to say. Don't stop talking about package JA, package DG. Go get LeBron. Go get somebody else. Go get no. We're gonna ride with this core 4 till the wheels fall off, y'all, because when they are all dialed in, and again, this is against the Wizards, so ain't nobody jumping off the boat talking about some but when the Cavs are all dialed in with what we have, bro, I'm putting us up against anybody, including OKC, including whoever y'all want. I'm running with my guys because who am I to fold? Never gonna fold on mine. That ain't how I'm cut. I'm from Cleveland, baby. We don't fold. But number 2, though, because it's not a lot of bigs that can give you a double-double damn near every single night and can shoot 70% from the field. Nobody's doing that, actually. So when JA gives you 16 points, 14 boards, and then Merrill follows that up with making 4 threes, okay, fresh off injury as well, fresh off hip, come on. So when that's happening, when that's flowing, come on, man, it's going to be a long season. We still have to get some contribution from the bench. The bench is doing great, so this is not a complaint. But Lonzo Ball is still trying to find his jump shot, right? That once his jump shot start falling, once Lonzo Ball's, because last game, y'all know I saw it. I know y'all saw it. First of all, Garland definitely could have had 11 or 12 assists last game. Simply to Ball, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo was missing wide open threes, and DG, he getting them there. No looks, getting them there, right? Not knocking them down. That's okay though. Nobody tripping. Look at the score. Nobody tripping. But it's when we're playing the teams where we're not going to be up 30 points, right? When we're playing the Bucks tonight, when we're playing the Bulls, okay? We need our bench to hit the wide open shots, especially when they coming off a DG pass, because his passes are crisp. The rotation on the ball is going to be perfect. That ball, when it hits your hands, that spin, it ain't got that spin on it. It's just right there. You feel me? It ain't got that awkward spin where it's kind of like that corkscrew. It's that perfect rotation of the ball, right? Because he a point guard. Point guards know how to pass the ball. We know how to have the ball in our hands and get it to you in a certain pocket. So that's also contributing to our 3-game win streak. DG's intelligence, his ball movement, his ability to break down the defense. Then, of course, our core 4 between now you got to think about the core 4 being Merrill in the core 4. Right, you got to kind of think about that core 4.5, or like, you know what I mean, that optional 4. Sometimes that 4th player can be Merrill. Sometimes that 4th player can be Allen, but usually it's either one of them that's going off, right? And so when you have that consistent contribution from 3 to 4 to 5 guys, where every single night you're getting 15, 8, 6, you're getting a mix, diverse contribution, right? So nobody has to be boxed in, and nobody has to be waiting on the other person to do something, because everybody is working, everybody is engaged. So, man, the Cavs been cooking. The connection is synced in, right? We started off clunky, okay, rightfully so, and that's okay, because again, last season we started off with the fool's gold, 15 games wins out the gate. And this season we have some ups and downs. We had some injuries, and it's teaching us. We're becoming battle tested on the fly. And I like to take this bridge because this at the top of the year, going through the summer, I was doing a WNBA show, Her Core, Her Rules, right? Covering the WNBA all season, all 44 games. What I learned about this season in the WNBA is the overarching theme this season was resilience. And resilience was a theme, whether they intended for resilience to be the theme or not. We saw Indiana Fever overcome all the injuries they overcame, right, to still make it to the second round in the playoffs. We saw the Las Vegas Aces do the unthinkable, okay, win 17 straight games to close the season, then enter the playoffs, scuff they Tim, okay, have a hard fought series against Indiana, but then go to the finals and win it all, right? On the back of their star, their MVP, four-time MVP, on the back of all their Olympians and champions and role players and bench, on the backs of everybody. Everybody contributed, right? And so I think what the Cavs can learn from just looking at women's basketball this past season specifically, and especially the aces and the teams that had to overcome obstacles, is that however you start doesn't have to be how you finish. However, your mentality, though, your mental, your state of mind, your calf state of mind needs to be the thing that projects us and propels us to that winning culture, that great culture. And I think what's happening right now is we're definitely tapping into something different and something that we necessarily didn't have to tap into last season. And so, off the back of last season, and understanding our pitfalls there and looking into what we need to do this season to be prepared, one of the biggest things that for me needed to be defined is our clarity within our roles, right? The first two seasons of DG and Mitchell, of course, there was a little friction there. They had a different coach, and there was some uncertainty about how they blend together. They're both ball dominant guards. They both like to get their own bucket. They both kind of do a lot of the same things, just in different ways and in different packages. That being said, over the last two seasons, especially under the helm of Kenny Atkinson, I think, and I'm confirmed, I'm super confident that the roles of each individual player on this team is super clear. And while we see them adjust from game to game, we see them dialing into that more, dialing into that role more. So let's talk about it a little bit. Darius Garland, what does he do? He organizes the team. He gets them in the certain places so he can deliver a great pass so that they have a great opportunity of making an efficient, high volume shot, right? Garland, that's what we missed to start the season. Now today is showing that. Let's get into the injury report in tonight's game, because again, we got to talk about tonight's game against the Bulls. The Bulls preview. It's looking like Garland may not be playing today. Let's look at the injury report. It's looking like he's out today till Sunday or so, and maybe this is just cautious rest. I'm sure this is not a re-injury, especially if he's going to be back on Sunday, but I'm sure they just taking a little bit of precaution. Play 2-3 games, sit out a game, play 2-3 games, sit out a game. So he won't be playing today, but even still, just based off the precedent that he set and the rhythm that he reintroduced the Cavs to by his presence being on the court, even removing him for one game, his presence is still there. So now the Porter Juniors and the Proctors and the Tysons that will pick up that ball handling minutes. Now they kind of have more of an idea of how to navigate with handling the ball, especially since Garland just showed them live in person how to do that for 3 games. Okay. So shout out to DG for organizing the troops. And then we got Mitchell with his constant relentless attacking, right? He's very aggressive. He understands, hey, when they done score 6 or 7 points real quick, give me the ball. Gotta stop the bleeding. Give me the ball. I can go get a bucket on anybody. I haven't seen one person in the league say, or even say with their body language or not, that they can stop him. They can't. he only stops himself when he has a bad shooting night, right? But he can get anywhere he wants to get on the court, and he can get his shot off at all levels, right? He can get to the basket, mid-range crazy, three-point game crazy, step back handles, and one all that. Hops, packages. He got everything. So with him being aggressive and him attacking on top of DG with his organizing and making sure everybody's in the right spot, I mean, it's gonna be up so far. It's gonna be up. Mobley is the anchor on defense. He's becoming the anchor on offense, but definitely he is one of our anchors in the paint. On top of Allen, who shares that load. But what Mobley doesn't do, Allen comes up and cleans up behind him, right? So if Mobley goes for the block or goes for the contest on the shot, that's when Allen comes up and get the cleanup boards and get all the other stuff, right? Because there's a lot of attention that's being played or paid to Mobley, and rightfully so, right? Defensive player of the year. Okay. But I think the sleeper is always Allen, because when you got Allen and Mobley on the court at the same time, where your attention, rightfully so, is going to go to Evan. Yeah. But that's when the cleaner, okay, clean up, man. That's when the cleaner comes. And shout out to JA, because he been the best janitor we can find. You hear me? He an expensive one. Okay, but JA, he get them brooms out and clean up everything. Last game, he had 8 offensive rebounds, 8 of them things. That's crazy. Walked off the court with 14 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds, though. That's ridiculous. So let's see if he go ahead and continue that rhythm tonight against the Bulls. And I think he should be able to. It's a home game. He always plays better at home. So it should be a good one. Sam Merrill executes. What does he execute, Naj? He executes the shot. He is known for drilling the shot. If it's wide open, he's going to make it. He's shooting at such a high clip right now. It's ridiculous. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull up his stats real quick. What's his shooting percentage? Hold on, because last time I checked, he was shooting about 60% from 3. So hold on, let me go to Sam Merrill because I got to see. Okay, stats. All right, let's go to Sam Merrill's stats, because he executes at a high clip, and he's been doing that so far this season. I mean, it's just been incredible. Right now, he's shooting 57.7% from the field. Okay, 57.8% from 3. Well, that makes sense because most of his shots that he takes are threes. Okay. What's also important to note about that is that he's only playing about 25 minutes a game. Okay. On 25 minutes a game, he's given us 16 points. So he's given us about a point every 2 minutes. That's very, very, very great efficiency. I mean, at this point, hell, one could say play him more. You feel me? But they got so many guards, and based on who we're playing, you might need to mix that guard play, especially with Lonzo and Craig Porter Jr. Shout out to Kenny, though, because we've been seeing some wild lineups. Let's talk about a couple of lineups that we've been seeing so far this season, especially with the guards. Last 2 games, I've been seeing JA being the anchor with 4 guards around him. So that lineup looks something like Garland, Mitchell, Lonzo, Tyson, and Jared Allen. That's on paper, that don't even sound like a lineup you will roll out and be like, yeah, I'm gonna roll this out. Because it's like, damn, we're the size, where's the, you feel me? However, because when they're in that type of lineup, they're usually in zone, and you can play a little bit smaller when you're in zone. Now, when you are in zone, a little bit of the problem can be is rebounding. So your guards got to really hone in on blocking out a spot, right? Because you're in zone. So you got to really pay attention to your spot. But what happens is when we get the rebound, and if it's anybody except for Jared Allen, now all 4 people potential rebounders can now push the ball, push the break. And so what do you do when you have Garland and then or you have Craig Porter Jr. or Tyson and you got them around three other guards and your trail is JA? So the defense be so busy trying to stop the penetration, trying to stop a quick outlet, trying to stop all this when you don't even know that the trailer is damn near 7 feet tall too. So what y'all gonna do with him when I go ahead and be like, oh, hoop, doop, 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 and then just wait on my trailer to get down for the alley oop? Or because you got four guards on the court and the ball is rotating so crazy, you could really get a much easier bucket when you do that. So, man, shout out to oops, hold on. So yeah, shout out to the Cavs and kind of how we've been moving, especially with our bench. Sam Merrill been executing. Jalen Tyson, he's been filling in every gap, right? Filling in for all the players that have been injured. He's been playing more minutes at the shooting guard. He's been playing minutes at the small forward. When we go that four wide outlook with the four guards and the one big, we normally see Tyson at the four. Sometimes we see Hunter at the four, but again, we playing four guards. So you know what I mean? It could be any of the four guards in our rotation between Porter, Proctor, Tyson, and Ball, right? And so that doesn't even include our starters. And Sam technically is not a starter right now because you got Hunter. So you can't start him, you can't start him. So it just really depends on what Atkinson, the genius of Kenny, what he want to do. And so far this season, I just been seeing the bench been playing with great confidence, great rapport. In every game, you can tell they get more and more comfortable with each other, right? And again, with the lineups that Kenny is throwing out there, sometimes it reverts to getting clunky again. And when that happens, you just kind of like you can't trip about it because it's something that should be expected when you do have moving pieces and you do have a coach that's going to play 10. If Kenny only played 7 or 8, like Coach Thibodeau, right? Like that's the reason why he ain't got a job right now, right? If he only plays 7 or 8, then we would kind of know what to expect every single night. We would damn near know at what mark somebody's getting subbed out, who's coming in next. Like we will almost have identified the exact rotation, subbing exactly the game plan, game in and game out. But because he plays 10 deep and he adjusts his rotation based on game time, momentum, and current opposition and obstacles, you don't really know how to call it. He is the first quarter and sometimes the second quarter, he has specific substitutions, but after that, it's really up. So shout out to Kenny. Shout out to our roles being more clear and more defined, especially in this season. Okay. What that has contributed to is the flow and the alignment. This season right now is all about how we click, how we connect. That's our Cavs state of mind. It's about me and my brother, right? Me and my bro. I don't even have to say it. He know, right? I don't even have to. They already know. It's what we saw in 2016 with the Cavs, with JR and Shump and T. Like it's just what we saw. It's what we came to expect the unexpected because the chemistry and the camaraderie and the brotherhood on the team was just so strong. I remember going to the SZA concert and LeBron, Savannah, D Wade, you know what I'm saying, Gabby, TT, the Kardashian, they all just pulled up to the concert. And I was like, damn, y'all just y'all remember the footage when it was all the Cavs and they at the Browns game on the sideline, or they at the Indians game, right? And they all got the jersey on. They in the box. They in the suite. They hooping and hollering. They supporting Cleveland. It was that type of brotherhood that got us to come back down from down 3-1 in the finals. Never been done, but we did it. It's because of that, right? So it's that legacy that we kind of like got to follow. But now with the team that we have, I even think that we can take it up a notch. For real, for real. Now, when you saying a team with LeBron and Kyrie, and then taking it up a notch. That might sound crazy. But y'all, we got to think outside the box because it's a Cavs state of mind. So if we want them to do what they did in 2016, we got to be better than that because the league is better than that. So again, we got to lock in on our flow, lock in on our alignment, which we are doing thus far. Garland's presence, DG's presence has restored the calm in the city. The first 2-3 games, everybody was pushing the panic button. We trash, we salt, we this, we that. I'm like, y'all bucking. We ain't got our point guard. Nobody wins without their point guard. Ask Indiana. Now, granted, they damn near, say they got rid of all their bigs and stuff, but ask when Detroit didn't have your boy. His name slipping my mind right now. Okay, Cunningham. Okay, ask New York when they didn't have Brunson. Shea been pretty healthy, so OKC never really had to play a stint without Trey. But ask Minnesota what they do without Anthony Edwards for a stint. Okay, your main ball handler can't go injured, right? We don't win consistently without Garland, and we can't damn near win at all without Mitchell. So not only are we playing with restored calm, playing with trust again, but Mitchell's leadership is guiding and leading by example. Yeah, I'm gonna challenge you. Yeah, I have expectations for you. However, before I expect something of you, I got to go out and show you how it's done, show you what it looks like, right? And that's, tapped in. Shout out to my, okay, rest in peace, Kobe Bean Bryant. That's that Mamba mentality. I can preach at you, I can bark at you all day. But if you don't look at me and look at my work ethic, look how I pull up to the table, look how I train, look how I take care of my body, how I meditate, how I take care of my mind, then you just talking hot air. Mitchell is leading by and guiding by an example, and it's showing up in his play. It's showing up in the statistics, right? It's showing up in the numbers. This is the life principle for y'all. Free game, free game, free game. Alignment. 10 times out of 10, 100% of the time is going to beat your ambition every day of the week. Every day of the week, 52 weeks. Alignment is going to beat your ambition every single time. Because you have people who have ambition and they have will and they want it so bad, but they are not aligned with the thing that they want. Their spirits are on this wavelength, but they body over here, they mental over there. Alignment. Once you sink all that in and now it's calibrated, right? And the synergy is synergizing. Y'all know what we do. Come on, how we do over here on Cavs State of Mind. Come on, we're gonna take you upstairs every time. Once that is clicked in and locked in, tapped in, turned on, tuned up, it's up from there, right? And y'all know what Cardi B said, when it's up, it's stuck. And so when this is what we're seeing right now, the rhythm, the synergy, everything is connecting. We're seeing it. Alignment beats ambition. The Cavs are proving that when energy aligns, execution follows. It's a quote that says, where your attention goes, your energy flows. This is that. When the energy aligns, execution follows. So that's what we're seeing right now with the Cavs. They clicking. It's synergy there. 148 big ones. What? Yeah, execution follows. The clarity in the roles, that's execution. When everybody comes in and understands the assignment, knows my role, know what I should be doing, but then I can take it up another notch in myself. Nobody asking Sam Merrill to go 4 for 5 from 3. We just asking him to hit the wide open threes, but he understands the assignment and he's executing. Rhythm creates confidence, and confidence creates culture. That's what we're seeing right now. We're actually seeing live a shift in the culture, a shift in the mentality, a shift in the Cavs state of mind. I'm here for it, y'all. I'm excited. Today, we play the Bulls at home at 8 o'clock. Okay. It's another big game today. Remember on the first episode, second episode, I said, listen, y'all talk to me at 25 games in. I'm not jumping off and say, oh, the Bulls. Now, anybody doing that. Nobody care what the records say when we only played 6 games. Okay, and they 5-1. Okay, that's cool. Good for them. This ain't no shade. I want to see Chicago be great. For sure. Midwest, baby. Of course, I'm always rooting for the Midwest teams, but not when they play the Cavs. Okay? So Chicago 6-2, the Cavs 6-3. Again, we're gonna see how the East shake out really around 25 games in. We gotta take the season in quarters. 82 games. Every 20 to 25 games, that's your quarter, right? So really about that 22 game mark, that's your quarter. So once we hit about 22 games played, we'll really see what's what for the first quarter of the NBA season. Here's what's next up on the roster. I'm sorry, in the schedule moving forward. Monday, we got the Heat on Monday. Again, they scored 51 points in the first quarter against Charlotte. Come on, we bet. Listen, we bet not go down to Miami. And Eric Spoelstra, shout out to him. I know Eric Spoelstra. We sending him good vibes, good spirits, good energy. Lost his house in the Miami fires. So salute to him. Salute to his family. Salute to everybody who's grieving and lost right now. However, they're gonna come with that heat. Pun intended. Double entendre, triple entendre. The Heat coming with that heat. They in Miami. They call Miami Heat. It's Miami Fires. They not playing. They want to get that dub. So the Cavs, not only do we got to make a statement tonight and go ahead and make sure that we protect home court, we also got to go ahead and go back to Miami and do the work. Also, they're coming off a little salt from last season, getting swept. So we played them on Monday and we played them on Wednesday. We got a short little mini series real quick with Miami. We got to take both of them. Now, I didn't circle them as being hot games, but these are must-win games for me. We can't go to Miami and lose, and then we play them back-to-back. They come up to our spot. They come up to the land, you know what I'm saying? We introduce them to, it ain't that hot out here. It ain't no palm trees and all that. So we getting gritty again. So if nothing else, we got to split them 2 games. But I'm hoping that we go ahead and win both of them games. Boom. So remember, second episode, I said, now the Cavs need to reintroduce themselves to the NBA. Let the people know that, hey, we still one of those. Okay, we still got him over here, Himothy. Okay, we still got Spider. We still got the best Batman Robin duo in the NBA. If you ask me, I'm a Cavs fan, so I'm always gonna be just a little bit biased with Spider and DG. It ain't a whole lot of shooting guards, point guards that made the All-Star game, right, from the same team, right? So we had Shea, he had 2. You know what I'm saying? We had New York had 2, but point guard, shooting guard. Okay, right. Yeah, talk to me later and talk to me nice. Bet. So now we got some things thinking, right? And we got to make sure that, again, the couple episodes ago, I said, remind the people, we go ahead and win 5 straight real quick. That's doable. Hell, we got 15 last year to start the season, and we had 2 12-0 runs. Stop it. So go ahead and win 5 games real quick. So if we did that, that would mean that we beat the Heat back-to-back, because we are already on the 3. That will also mean that we didn't beat the Bulls. So if we do what I think we should do, and what I think we very well can do, is beat the Bulls, beat the Heat twice, and beat the Raptors, that'll have us on a 7-0 win streak. I ain't gonna put the cart before the horse. We got to play every game straight up, right? So I can't speculate too far in advance. But what I'm saying is, if we do what's necessary tonight, and then continue on that energy and the momentum against Miami, and then come back to Cleveland and do the job against the Toronto Raptors, that's 7-0 run right there. That's 7-0. Okay. So we're gonna be looking real good here soon. Y'all stay tuned. Okay. Then we got the Grizzlies coming up next week, the Bucks, the Rockets, and the Pacers. So we got a lot of big games coming up, right? And it's a lot of challenging, testing games. Ja Morant, is finding his groove again, finding his love for the game again. We got the Greek Freak, who's always a challenge on our bigs, always a challenge on our just coverage, making sure that we cover the floor because he can just take up so much space. The Rockets, they have so much size, length, athleticism, and then they got KD. And then the Pacers, yeah, they are lacking some pieces, but it still ain't sweet with them. It still ain't sweet with them. So we got some things up next that we need to be checking for. But most importantly, it's about the Central Division, right? The Bulls tonight, the Pistons 6-2, the Cavs 6-3, the Bucks 6-3, the Pacers 1-8. The Central Division hasn't been this well. The Bulls last year and the Pacers were reversed, right? So we still had 4 teams in the Central Division, 3 ops for us in the Central Division, but none of them really that was really scary. The Bucks aren't scary, but you got Giannis, so that's a threat. The Bulls ain't scary, but if they keep playing connected behind their coach, that's a threat. And the Pistons is always going to be a threat. They are cousins up the street. You feel me? So that's always going to be something to watch. Moreover, we got to watch the top teams in the East right now, which is the Bulls, the Pistons, we the Cavs, right? The Bucks. What did I say? You got the Bulls, the Pistons, and the Bucks are at the top 4 teams in the East right now. They're all coming out of the Central Division. What? That ain't been heard of in a grip. The Bulls, the Pistons, the Cavs, and the Bucks are right now the top 4 teams in the East, all out the Central Division. I don't know if my lifetime has ever seen it. Not my lifetime. Following suit, you got the Knicks and the Sixers. Again, last episode we was talking about, are the Sixers for real? Are they really one of those? Or did they just get out to a fluky little start on the backs of a lot of energy in the youth movement behind Maxey and Edgecombe? I don't know. I'm not a Sixers fan, so I'm not tapping in too deep. However, we got to keep talking about it and we got to keep watching. And over here on Cavs State of Mind, we definitely going to tap in and take y'all to a higher level. Make sure. Here's y'all call to action. Drop y'all predictions in the chat, in the comment, who y'all got tonight. Hint, hint, hint. There's only one right answer. Cavs. Cavs and the Bulls face off tonight at 8 p.m. EST. You heard, it's going to be a goodie. When you do pull up, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Help us get to those 500 subs. Again, it's much appreciated. It's always love. And it's your girl, Najah Lee, represent that big for your Lenz, big 216 energy, big VA, you're 2 up, 2 down. You heard? It's all love. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Again, whether you watching live or whether you watch it on the replay, just make sure you hit that like, you hit that subscribe, and you make sure you always drop into the comment. Let me know what you like, let me know what you didn't like, and let me know where you from. You know what I'm saying? Because us Cavs fans, Cavs Nation is all over the place. So again, I'm repping that 216, that big VA, 2 up, 2 down. Where you from? Get into the chat, get into the comments. Let me know. Again, go Cavs Nation, and let's bring that dub home tonight. Dubs in the chat, dubs in the chat. Peace and freedom.